We live in a world where it's easy to feel sorry for yourself. Life throws curveballs, things go wrong, and before you know it, you're sitting there consumed by self-pity, thinking everything is out of your control. But here's the truth. No one cares about your excuses. The world doesn't stop turning because you feel bad, and nobody owes you sympathy. That's the hard truth. You can't afford to be weak. Life isn't here to pamper you or to give you a cushion when you fall. You have one job: to stand back up. Complaining, dwelling on your problems, or blaming your circumstances will get you nowhere. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you stop wasting energy on self-pity and you start focusing on what really matters: action. It's not about pretending life is perfect or ignoring the struggles you face. We all have our battles, but guess what? Everyone has problems. It's how you deal with them that separates the winners from the losers. You want to be successful, you want to have more, do more, and be more, then stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop playing the victim card. No one cares about your sob story. They care about what you're going to do about it. The time you spend feeling sorry for yourself could be the time you use to fix your situation. That's the kind of mindset that changes lives. It's time to toughen up. It's time to accept that no one is coming to save you. You are the hero of your own story. When you're sitting there feeling down or upset about your situation, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that your problems are unique, that they deserve special attention or sympathy. You start telling yourself that if only people knew how tough your life is, they'd understand why you can't move forward. But the harsh reality is, no one cares about your excuses. People are busy. The world doesn't stop spinning just because you're going through a rough patch. Everyone has their own struggles, their own obstacles to face, and the truth is, nobody is obligated to feel bad for you. Sure, you might get some sympathy for a moment, a pat on the back, but that doesn't last, and that doesn't fix anything. Sympathy does nothing to help you move forward. It's easy to get lost in that mindset, to wallow in your own pity, thinking that if you just had a little more understanding from others, you'd be able to make progress. But that's a lie. The world doesn't wait for anyone, and it certainly doesn't care about your sob story. If you're honest with yourself, you'll realize that most of the time, the excuses you make are just ways to avoid the hard work that's needed to improve your situation. It's easy to point at everything around you: your environment, your upbringing, the people in your life, and blame them for your lack of progress. But deep down, you know that excuses are a way to keep yourself comfortable. It's a way to avoid taking responsibility for your own life. It's much easier to say, I couldn't do it because of this, than to actually face the fact that you didn't try hard enough or didn't want to make the necessary sacrifices. But the reality is, every time you make an excuse, you're only holding yourself back. You're choosing comfort over growth. The people who succeed in life, who truly accomplish something significant, aren't the ones who sit around waiting for the world to give them a break. They don't spend their time looking for reasons to explain why things aren't working out. Instead, they get to work. They take action despite their problems, despite the obstacles. They don't wait for the perfect moment, they create it. At the end of the day, no one is coming to rescue you. Life doesn't owe you anything. The only way to change your circumstances is to stop making excuses and start taking responsibility. Excuses keep you trapped in the same place, while action propels you forward. If you want to see progress, you've got to be willing to stop feeling sorry for yourself, stop pointing fingers, and start doing the work. Self-pity is one of the most dangerous mental traps you can fall into, and it's all too easy to get stuck there. When life gets tough, it's natural to feel overwhelmed or defeated. But the moment you let those feelings turn into self-pity, you're choosing to waste your time, your energy, and your potential. Instead of taking action, you sit there in your own misery, convincing yourself that your situation is too difficult to overcome. This is where everything goes wrong. When you start feeling sorry for yourself, you begin to lose focus on what actually matters. Your problems become bigger than they really are because you're not looking for solutions. You're looking for reasons why it's too hard, too unfair, too much to handle. You're allowing your feelings to dictate your actions, and instead of moving forward, you're going backward. Self-pity makes you stagnant. It's a powerful way of procrastinating, because when you're stuck in that mindset, you don't want to do anything. It's almost like you've built a wall around yourself, and the only thing keeping you in is the belief that your situation is hopeless. The longer you stay in that headspace, the harder it becomes to break out of it. You're trapped by your own thoughts and emotions, unable to see beyond your current pain. What's worse is that self-pity doesn't solve anything. It's not productive. It doesn't fix your problems or help you get closer to your goals. It's just a temporary escape, a way of feeling justified for being stuck. But at the end of the day, it does nothing but drain you. It steals your energy, your confidence, and your drive. While you're wasting time feeling sorry for yourself, life keeps moving forward. And before you know it, you've missed opportunities, lost chances to improve, and gotten further away from the person you want to be. Here's the cold, hard truth. Nobody cares about your self-pity. No one is going to feel sorry for you for long. And even if they do, that sympathy doesn't help you move ahead. Sympathy doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't solve your problems, and it certainly doesn't help you grow. Action does. When you shift your focus away from how hard your life is and onto how you can change it, that's when things start happening. Self-pity keeps you trapped in the past, in your mistakes, in your failures. But the truth is, the past is gone. You can't change it. All you have control over is the present moment and what you choose to do with it. So instead of wasting time feeling sorry for yourself, ask yourself what you can do right now to move forward, no matter how small that step might be. Every little action adds up, and the sooner you snap out of the self-pity trap, the sooner you start making progress. It's easy to fall into the mindset that your problems are somehow unique, that no one else could possibly understand what you're going through. It's tempting to believe that your struggles are special, that no one else faces the same challenges or feels the same way. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Everyone has problems. The reality is, every single person, no matter how successful, happy, or put together they may seem, has their own set of struggles. Whether it's financial stress, health problems, relationship issues, or personal doubts, no one gets through life without facing obstacles. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop feeling like you're alone in your suffering. It's natural to feel isolated when things aren't going well, but this mindset only keeps you stuck in the belief that your situation is somehow different or more difficult than anyone else's. The truth is, everyone is carrying something. Take a look around at the people you admire, the ones who seem to have everything together. You might think they're living the dream, free from worry or hardship, but behind the surface, they're dealing with their own set of issues. They might not talk about it, but they are facing challenges that are just as real as yours. The difference is, they don't let their problems define them. They don't let their struggles stop them from moving forward. Instead, they find a way to push through because they know that everyone has their own battles to fight. No one's life is perfect. Everyone has something they're working through, something that's testing their limits. And here's the thing. While you're busy thinking your problems are bigger or more important than anyone else's, someone else out there is dealing with their own mountain to climb. They're probably not complaining or looking for sympathy, and they're certainly not using their problems as an excuse to give up. They're taking action, facing their difficulties head on, and doing whatever it takes to move forward. It's easy to become fixated on your own pain, to believe that you're the only one struggling, but this is just another form of self-centered thinking. When you start to realize that everyone has problems, it shifts your perspective. You stop thinking of yourself as a victim and start seeing others as fellow warriors who are also fighting their own battles. This realization helps you break free from the victim mentality. Instead of focusing on what you don't have or what you're lacking, you begin to see that everyone is in this together, fighting their own fight. So when you're feeling like life isn't fair or that you're carrying a burden no one else understands, just remember, everyone is dealing with something. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't that some people don't have problems, it's that those who succeed don't let their problems stop them. They use them as fuel, not excuses. They rise above them. And you can too. Victim mentality is a mindset that can trap you in a cycle of helplessness, blaming others or circumstances for your lack of progress. It's the mindset that says, I can't because of what happened to me, or the world is against me, so why bother trying? It's seductive because it feels like an easy way to explain away your problems, to justify why things aren't working out. But in reality, victim mentality gets you nowhere. When you adopt a victim mindset, you're essentially giving away your power. You're telling yourself that your fate is in the hands of everyone and everything around you and that you have no control over your own life. The truth is, you always have control, even when it feels like things are out of your hands. The moment you start blaming others, your environment or circumstances for your lack of success, you're giving away the one thing that can actually change your situation: responsibility. By holding onto a victim mentality, you stay stuck in the past. You constantly replay what went wrong, who hurt you, or why things didn't work out. Instead of using that energy to move forward, you're stuck looking backward. This mindset keeps you focused on the problem rather than the solution. It paralyzes you, making you believe that you're powerless to change your life. But here's the kicker. The only way out is to stop blaming everyone else. The world doesn't care about your excuses, your sob stories, or your perceived injustices. It's not going to hand you success just because you've had a rough go. The people who make it in life are the ones who decide they won't be defined by what happens to them. They don't let setbacks, failures, or past mistakes dictate their future. Victim mentality also keeps you from growing. When you see yourself as a victim, you believe that your problems are insurmountable, or that you're owed something in return for your suffering. But in reality, life doesn't owe you anything. You're not entitled to an easy ride or a break just because things went wrong for you. The people who thrive are the ones who face adversity head on and make a choice to move beyond it. They don't sit around waiting for things to change. They take responsibility for their actions, their attitudes, and their choices. They see obstacles as opportunities for growth, not reasons to quit. When you stop seeing yourself as a victim, you regain your power. You start to realize that the things that happen to you don't define who you are unless you let them. No matter what you've been through, you have the ability to choose how you respond. By taking responsibility, by shifting from a mindset of poor me to what can I do about this, you take back control over your life. And that's the only way to move forward, grow, and achieve anything meaningful. Life isn't a fairy tale, and nobody gets a free pass. If you want to get ahead, to achieve anything of significance, you have to toughen up and take full responsibility for your life. It's not enough to hope for things to get better, to wish for easier circumstances, or to expect someone else to come and fix your problems. You are the one who has to show up. If you're waiting for things to change on their own, you'll be waiting forever. It's time to stop playing the victim and start taking charge. Toughening up isn't just about being physically strong or pushing through pain. It's about mental resilience. It's about having the ability to withstand hardship, disappointment, and failure without letting it break you. Life will throw punches. It always does. But the difference between those who make it and those who don't is how they handle those punches. When life knocks you down, you can either stay down, feeling sorry for yourself and waiting for someone to help you, or you can get back up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. The people who win aren't necessarily the smartest or the luckiest, but they are the toughest. They refuse to quit. Owning your life means taking full responsibility for where you are and where you're headed. You don't get to blame your parents, your boss, your upbringing, or society for your circumstances. Those things might have influenced you, but they don't control you. Your choices define your life. If you're not where you want to be, it's because of the decisions you've made or haven't made. Every action, every thought, every moment of procrastination or indecision adds up, and it shapes the path you're walking. You can either keep blaming the world, or you can start making decisions that lead you in the direction you want to go. Toughening up means not just accepting responsibility, but also taking action. No more excuses. No more waiting for the perfect moment or for the circumstances to align. You're going to have to make things happen with what you have where you are. If you want to succeed, you have to stop making excuses about why you can't, and instead focus on what you can do. Start with small steps, but take them every single day. Even if it's hard, even if it feels uncomfortable, keep going. The discomfort is what sharpens you. The challenges are what strengthen you. If you constantly avoid them, you'll never grow. By toughening up, you also build a sense of control in your life. You stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances and start feeling like a person who has the power to shape their own destiny. The moment you decide to take full ownership of your life, you free yourself from the weight of external blame and open up the potential for real change. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. But if you want a life that's worth living, you're going to have to put in the work, face the hardships, and stay committed. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. Own it. At the end of the day, life doesn't owe you anything. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can stop feeling sorry for yourself and take control. You're not a victim of your circumstances unless you choose to be. Everyone has problems, and what truly sets people apart is how they deal with them. Stop wasting time on self-pity, stop blaming others, and stop letting excuses hold you back. If you want a better life, you have to toughen up and take responsibility for where you are and where you're going. No one's going to save you, and no one's going to hand you success. You are the hero of your own story, so get up, take action, and start building the life you want. The world is waiting for you to show up and claim it.